The majority of Canadians want to close our borders and pause our immigration into this country. And this is according to a new scientific study, a poll commissioned by True North. So 3/4 of Canadians, 76%, who were polled by One, which is a research company based out of Toronto, either strongly agree or moderately agree with the following statement. Canada should temporarily pause immigration until a vaccine is developed for coronavirus and the unemployment rate drops down to pre-corona levels. So this survey shows a vast consensus to the immigration pause among basically all Canadians, all regions, age groups, education levels, income levels, political party, and in both official languages. So yeah, that includes political party, even Liberal voters. So 2/3 of Canadians who voted for the Liberal Party in the 2019 federal election supported this statement, 67%. And it was the same with the NDP. 66% supported the statement. The consensus is even stronger among Conservative voters, where 67% strongly agreed with the statement, another 22% moderately agreed. So 89% of Conservative voters would like to have a total pause on immigration for the time being. Likewise, 48% of Bloc supporters strongly agreed with the statement, and another 39% moderately agreed. So overall majority of Bloc voters as well want this immigration pause. And Canadians said the same thing when it came to Canada's temporary immigration programs. They also said that these should be suspended for the time being. Nearly 2/3 of all Canadians, 61% surveyed, said that they agreed with the idea that Canada should temporarily pause the temporary foreign worker program until a vaccine is developed for coronavirus and until the unemployment rate drops down to pre-coronavirus levels. This is a pretty interesting survey. I've been studying immigration numbers for a very long time, and I haven't seen a consensus this strong. But I think with a combination of the coronavirus and the threat that we know that comes from international travel and international people coming to Canada, but also the horrible effect that it has had on our economy. You know, the driving idea behind large immigration is that it's supposed to boost the economy and fill labor market shortages. Well, right now, there's so many Canadians out of work that it doesn't really make sense to have a lot of immigrants coming in. And so if you look at the unemployment rate, pre-coronavirus, before the lockdowns, it was at 5.6%. Right now, in May 2020, which was the most recent job report, Canada's unemployment rate is at an all-time high of 13.7%. So it really begs the question of why we still have temporary foreign workers coming into Canada when we have millions of Canadians who don't have jobs, who are looking for jobs. Why are we bringing in low-skilled labor from developing countries and also therefore increasing our risk? Now, I want to address one other point because a lot of Canadians wrongly believe that our borders are currently closed right now. Well, Justin Trudeau did announce a border closure. He announced that airports were closed, but that is mostly for tourists. It's mostly just tourists that aren't allowed in because there were so many exemptions and exceptions to these rules when it came to anyone in the supply chain, anyone who was working that needed to come into Canada, and also exemptions for international students, for temporary foreign workers, and for other parts of our immigration system. So all you have to do is look at the recent report from the CBSA, the Canadian Border Service Agency, Security Agency, I should say, and it paints a totally different picture. So between March 21st, when the border was closed, when Trudeau made the announcement, and June 3rd, which is the most recent report, 1 million people have entered Canada at land border crossings, and another 763,000 travelers arrived at the international airports. So we don't know the nationality of the people who are coming over the land border, but we do know air travelers. So of those 763,000 people who have landed at Canadian international airports, only 283,000 were Canadian citizens, 21,000 were permanent residents, which means that more than half, 459,000 people to have come to Canada in the past 3 months have been new immigrants. And again, that's because Trudeau's supposed travel ban includes wide exemptions for new immigrants, international students, agriculture workers, and people coming through the temporary foreign worker program. A recent report revealed that 13,000 temporary foreign workers have come to Canada between March 15th and May 8th. Doesn't really sound like our borders are closed. Well, according to One Research, most Canadians would prefer that our immigration stop, that we have no immigration for the time being, and I think politicians would be wise to listen to Canadians on this. For True North, I'm Candice Malcolm.